Justin McElroy from Polygon.com. I'm joined by Nick Robinson.
Hey.
Welcome, Nick.
Thanks for having me.
To our balcony
yeah,
that we have here. I wanted to talk, I've brought you here with someone filming us to talk about A Way Out.
A Way Out.
The new game from Hazelight developers of, the developer of Brothers.
Yes.
A Tale of Two Sons.
A Tale of Two Sons, which when you say it out loud, I didn't realize how weird that name was.
That's what Brothers means.
Yeah, it's the definition of what a brother is. Yeah, I've played the game. I've played the new game that they made.
Now,
you're a big Brothers fan, right?
I love Brothers.
Yeah.
It was a single-player co-op thing, which is a very weird thing that is not particularly common. This is not that, but it is still co-op centric.
Yeah, it's sort of another subversion of normal co-op in a way. So the whole big hook of this game, let's set up the world, right?
Okay.
It's the early 70s. There are two fellas, one named Leo and one named Vincent. And this trailer that we saw during EA's press conference kind of set this up to be like a very prison breaky thing.
Sure.
But it seems like there's a lot of stuff that is not in the prison, and the section I played is also not in the prison. Where it is it's a gas station robbery is kind of the setup of the little 6-minute chunk I played. And the whole hook of this game, right, is that it is forced split screen. So how Brothers 1 was a co-op game that you had to play alone, this is a co-op game you have to play with another person. Whether that's online or in person, you need a second player.
Okay.
And what's cool about that is that it does all this weird, interesting, gimmicky stuff with the split screen perspective. One of the most obvious ones that I saw is sometimes one character will be in a cutscene and the other player won't, and it'll actually, instead of being a 50-50 split down the middle, it'll go to like a 35%, 65% split where the cutscene player gets a slightly bigger portion of the screen. What else is cool is that there are decisions that you're forced to make together. There's a really great moment at the beginning of this demo where, let's say we're playing it together, the two characters are sitting in the car right before they do this gas station heist, arguing about whether they want to do it quiet or whether they want to do it loud. Vincent is kind of the more violent of the two, and he's like, I want to do this quick and dirty and get it over with. Leo is the more quiet guy, and he's like, let's take our time with this and not freak anyone out. And the characters are kind of arguing over who gets the gun, and how that, the very first thing that happens is both players have to choose together which player gets the gun. Okay. So there's like a circle on the screen, and you're using the left stick to point at which player you think has the gun, but you have to come to a consensus and both hold down square together to decide. Okay, so we would have to, the way that the game's director, Josef, described it was that they want there to be conversations that you have on the couch about what these characters would do and why, and who, for in this example, gets the gun.
I wonder, it's obviously a really exciting idea, but I'm wondering, like, pretty much every co-op experience that I can think of, with a few exceptions, is built to be a playground, is built to be two people sort of goofing around together. I can't think of too many narrative experiences that are designed to be experienced together. Do you think that'll be hard to sustain?
I don't know. It's an interesting question, because you're right. I don't think it's been done before, and I think that's kind of exciting. Like, as someone who has played multiple Telltale games sitting on my couch with my roommate, like having to kind of by proxy make decisions together but not having it formalized, I think there's really cool, weird stuff you can do when like one character can interrupt another character's cutscene, or one character can walk around the gas station calming people down while the other character chooses when to initiate the robbery. Another example of that in my session was we were trying to get the combination of this safe in the back of the gas station to get the money, and my co-op partner walked into the back and got grabbed by someone in there, was in a headlock, and I had to like kind of come and save him. But another thing that we avoided in our playthrough was there's like a phone in the gas station, and while I was negotiating with the woman behind the counter who we were robbing, he was like deactivating this phone, kind of calming some of the civilians in the gas station down. Yeah, it's weird. I'm really excited just because I think Brothers was such a game that did like weird, tricky, subversive stuff. I'm excited to see what they do in situations, because like Brothers had a great ending, and I'm sure they have some big hooky gimmick in mind for how they're going to wrap this story up. Yeah, it's really easy to imagine a scenario where one player pulls a gun on the other, and like that's somehow conclusive.
Now, did you get a sense of the scale of this thing? Is it a full, like, $60 on-disc experience? Do we know yet?
I don't really have an answer to that question.
It seems kind of whack. Yeah. If you have to pay $120 to play this game, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think I got the sense that they want you to play it in person on a couch together. Like, there is online if you want it, but like, they want you in the same room as the person you're cooperating with. I don't really have a sense of the price or the length. They wouldn't really talk about that, and I asked about it. But the section I played, they said was about 3 to 4 hours in, and they showed me video of a section that was maybe 5 to 6 hours in.
Okay, so like a yeah.
But then Josef also said that like the section we played, which was maybe 6 or 7 minutes long, took like 3 months to create. He really hit home the point that they're like making these bespoke gameplay elements that only get used once. And an example he showed was the sequence that we had on video, which was like kind of escaping from a hospital, was interesting because instead of being split screen, it was actually full screen, following one player as he escaped the hospital, and then the camera would like go through an air vent and show the other player's perspective, and now you're him running through the hospital. And then at the end of that sequence, right when they cut off the video, it goes to like a sideways hallway perspective, like that fight scene in Old Boy, and he was like, yeah, we built a whole brawler system just for this moment. And I'm like, that's awesome. Ridiculous, that's awesome. But I love that they're doing stuff
Brothers
like that.
was so cool and very different. It's really neat to see that team getting the funding to make something even bigger.
It feels way bigger too. Like while Brothers was awesome, it was also, it felt smallish and it had kind of this pulled out perspective. This is like a full 2 analog sticks and right trigger walking around a video game environment ass video game. Like it feels like a much bigger and more ambitious project, which is really exciting. And the last thing I have to mention too is the split screen stuff is just, even in the tiny slice I saw, they do so many cool things with it. After my playthrough, I watched 2 other players play through it, and they didn't calm everyone in the gas station down during the heist. So one guy in the gas station ran out of the gas station, flagged down a cop car, and told them, yo, there's a robbery happening over here. And the way that we watched this happen was there's still the split screen, but a third split screen came down from the top of the screen, and this ultra-wide view, you saw this guy telling this cop frantically about what was happening. And then like there's a few ways that can go down. The cops can come in and you have to shoot your way out. But just that stuff is so exciting to me. I think split screen is so cool and so absent right now, and a narrative game around that stuff is like very up my alley.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll get to see more soon.
Yeah, well, I'm working really hard on it, so.
Well, Nick, go back to coding.
I gotta get back to the grind.
Make sure to put a space in there where you didn't have one and you were supposed to.
Yeah, that's code.
In the code.